That was the beginning of a lifelong crusade for me to try to help make life better for people with mental illnesses.
A champion of mental health, caregiving, and women's rights, former First Lady Rosalynn Carter has died.
I'd never doubted that he could be a great president.
Married for 77 years to former President Jimmy Carter, we're told the 96-year-old died peacefully, surrounded by family and friends, just after 2 Sunday afternoon.
We've had an outpouring of support and prayers. In spite of all that's going on, it's been really kind of wonderful just to know that we have that kind of support.
Tonight, we honor the woman, wife, mother, friend, and Georgia's own, Rosalynn Carter.
Fox 5 News at 6 starts right now.
And thanks so much for joining us for Fox 5 News at 6. I'm Eric Perry. Tributes continue to pour in tonight after the death of Rosalynn Carter. The Carter Center making that announcement, saying the former First Lady died just after 2 this afternoon at her home in Plains, Georgia. We're told she was surrounded by family and friends. Tonight we have team coverage for you. Fox 5's Eric Mock standing by, monitoring reactions. And within the last hour, we heard from President and First Lady Jill Biden. But we want to begin with Fox 5's Joy Dukes. You're live outside the Carter Center, really an institution that meant so much to the both of them. Joy?
Yeah, Eric, good evening to you. She is regarded as a humanitarian, a champion for mental health, and a beloved First Lady. It's a difficult and somber day for millions of Americans who are now remembering the life and legacy of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who passed away earlier this afternoon at the age of 96. Now, officials at the Carter Center here in Atlanta made the announcement of her passing earlier today, just a few hours ago. They say she passed at her home, the home that she and her husband, former President Jimmy Carter, shared in Plains, Georgia, for many, many years, and she was surrounded by family. This comes just 2 days after the former First Lady entered hospice care following a months-long battle with dementia. It comes as a shock to many after reports former President Jimmy Carter had been entered into hospice care following the announcement he was battling a brain tumor. Now, in a statement issued by the Carter Center, former President Carter, who just turned 99 years old last month, said, quote, "Rosalynn was my equal partner in everything I ever accomplished. She gave me wise guidance and encouragement when I needed it. As long as Rosalynn was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me." Well, their love story was an inspiration to many. Mrs. Carter leaves behind 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 14 great-grandchildren. There's no word on funeral arrangements at this time, but we are told announcements about memorial events and funeral services will be made in the coming hours or days via online website. The website is www.rosalynncartertribute.org, and we're told the tribute website includes the family's official condolence book, as well as opportunities for memorial gifts, downloadable photos, and the official biography. That's the latest we have here tonight at the Carter Center. We're live. Joy Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, Joy, thanks so much. The Carters married 77 years, the longest presidential couple ever. Well, the friends and family of Rosalynn Carter say she was a passionate champion of mental health, caregiving, and women's rights. At the age of 18, she married Jimmy Carter, who became her partner and confidant for more than 70 years. Their relationship took them on a journey from the small town of Plains, Georgia, to the governor's mansion, and then all the way to the White House.
Rosalynn Carter will be remembered for her deep commitment to the isolated and underserved. During a conversation with the Carters in the fall of 2019, she spoke about an early loss that would shape her life.
My daddy died when I was 13, and my mother I was the oldest child, 3 younger siblings, and my mother told me that I was going to have to be very grown up and responsible.
Married in July of 1946, the Carters forged a partnership that would last more than 7 decades, taking them from tiny Plains, Georgia, to the governor's mansion, to the White House. Along the way, Mrs. Carter found her voice as a lifelong champion for mental health, working to break down the stigma and barriers keeping people with brain disorders from getting the help they need.
One is to speak out and get people talking about mental illness so that everybody in our country can realize that it's just an illness like any other illness.
We
know that mental illness is a disease as any other. It can be diagnosed, it can be treated, and almost everyone suffering from mental illness can be helped.
And Mrs. Carter would fight for decades for parity, or giving people with mental illness the same health insurance coverage as people with other medical conditions.
And one thing I don't understand is why there's so much stigma, because everybody in this country is touched by it. If not a member of the family, then a close friend or a relative.
And the Carters embraced life beyond the White House, founding the Carter Center in Atlanta in 1982, traveling the world as a team, campaigning for free and fair elections in more than 100 countries. They would tackle long overlooked diseases like malaria and guinea worm and river blindness in underserved countries. Back home in Southwest Georgia, she would create the Rosalynn Carter Institute for Caregiving, devoted to supporting more than 60 million Americans who are caring for parents, relatives, spouses, and children. The Carters would become the longest married presidential couple in American history, known for still holding hands when they walked together in their 90s. Asked about the secret to a happy relationship, they credited giving each other space and reconnecting each day to their Christian faith.
If we have arguments during the day, which we do frequently, we try to be reconciled to each other every night before we go to sleep. And we pretty well succeed with that. One of the things we do to help with that reconciliation is to read the Bible every night.
It's hard to keep fighting after you read the Bible.
Beth Galvin, Fox 5 News.